Good evening, everyone. I'm Samson Yusuf, here to explain the second experiment in the data science lab. In this experiment, we'll be using some operations for the data analysis. And for this experiment, we are using the Titanic dataset as I'm from batch one. So the first question, before that, we imported Pandas as it will help us to do all the operations for the CSV file. And I imported the CSV file, added the location using read underscore CSV. So the first question is we have to print all the null of columns and its count. So for this we are using is null function. It will give all the fields where it is null, and the sum function will add all the fields and give it as a sum. For example, here all those columns which has null are shown. For the second question, we have to print the data type for each column. For that, we are using d types. So in this function will tell all the data types for the columns we are using. For example, integer, float, etc. For the next question, we have to describe all the statistical data for all numerical and non-numerical columns. For this question, we are using the describe function. In that, we have used included all because it's for all the numerical and non-numerical columns. This thing will give all the description for the statistical things for each column. For the fourth question, we have to display all the all the columns with sex, male, and count it. So first we have filtered it by the male first we have filtered it by sex, which is male. Then I printed the all the male columns, and then I use len function to count all the columns which are male. So as you can see, first I printed all the entries with the male sex as male. Then I summed it all, and the count is 577. For the fifth question, we have to print the first 25 rows with embark column as C. So again, I filtered all the columns with embarked as C. Then I took the name and age from those columns and printed the top 25 fields. As you can see in this output, there are 25 entries for all the name and age. For the sixth question, we have to print all the rows with the age greater than 20 and the survival status as 0. So for this, first we filtered and got all the fields with age greater than 20 and also all the survived which is equal to 0. Then printed all the values. So it prints all the values with age greater than 20 and survived is 0. In the next question, we have to print the top 10 rows of age which is null. So first we segregated all the rows with with null values with the by the function is null. Then in the age column, then I printed the top 10 values with the function head. In the next question, we have to display the maximum, minimum, and mean values for the pair column. So for those three functions, we are using maximum function, minimum function, and mean function. It will automatically give the maximum value, minimum value, and the mean value for all the values and give it as an output. For the ninth question, we have to print all the unique values in the embarked column. For this problem, we are using unique function. It will automatically will give all the unique values with whatever column we are putting in. For the next 10th question, we have to update the data frame with a new column and the updated column with the pair plus 100 and observe the size of the data frame. Okay. So for the to create a new column, we need to write like df in brackets where the new column name, then the value for which we are using giving the new column. For in this question, we have to add 100 to the pair. Then I printed head to see all the values in the CSV file. Then I use shape as the shape function will give the size of the total number of rows in the CSV file. So as you can see, It will give the dimension of the CSV file, and the total number of rows is 891 and column is 13. In the next question, we have to drop the newly created new pair column permanently and observe the size of the data frame before and after. So for this, we are using the drop function as it will completely permanently delete the whatever column we are adding. So in this question, we are adding new pair. And to show the results, we are using shape as it will give the dimension before and after. As you can see, after deleting, before deleting, there were 13 columns, and after 12. In the next question, we have to drop all the rows with the null values in the data frame and then observe the size. So for this, for the previous one, since we were allocating the column which we are dropping, in this question, we are using drop NA as it will automatically remove all the rows with the empty with the null value. So before it was 891, and after deleting all the null values, it's 183. For the next question, we have to append two new rows in the data frame and observe the size of the data frame. So for that, first we created a new row. Then to concatenate the two rows, we use the concat function with the row names, and then it will automatically concat the two rows. And to show the size dimensions, we use shape function. So it shows the output as 183 and 12. And for the next question, we have to fill all the in the column cabin all the null values as A100 and observe the null values before and after. So to show the before values, we use is null in the cabin column and we use some function to add all the null values. And then we use fill NA to fill all the rows with null function as A100. Then after the to show the after result, we use the same is null and sum. As you can see before it, there were 687 null values, and after that it's zero. In the next question, we have to group all the rows based on embark column. For this question, we are using group by function as and the column value is embarked, and dot size will give all the size of the values. So after grouping, this is the output. For the last question, we have to sort the data frame based on pair. For sorting, we are using sort underscore values as n by pair. It will automatically sort all the values in ascending order and give the output. So here ends the second experiment. Thank you.